This is the shortcut to starting a profitable trucking business without a CDL. Okay. So, first of all, for those of you who are on here who probably new or who doesn't know the whole entire story, we're gonna give you a quick backstory here about Anthony and how he started. So Anthony, you were always a business-minded person, right? You always had businesses. You was always providing for people. Go ahead and tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah. I always had a business mind. I had clothing stores, barber shops, trucking companies before hauling freight, um, managing a rap group, owning nightclubs. I did it all.
Right, right. And then so we all know you from managing probably one of the best rap duos in history, probably, or at least top five, right? From the Clips. So tell us what happened with that. Just kind of just tell us like you met him, and then what happened between from the time you were working with him to the time you guys you made a vow to get out of the streets with him, and then you kind of got in some more trouble. So kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I when I started managing the Clips, I got rid of all my other businesses instead of having people control them or letting it run by itself. I wanted to concentrate on that, so I sold everything from the clothing store all the way down to all the trucks, so I can just keep my mind focused on one thing until that grow, and then I can go on to do other things. So once I started that, it helped me out on routing the routes as far as with the trucking company because I was doing tours, so I was routing truck dates and things like that. And then on top of that, from hand, being a party promoter and just being in entertainment, it sharpened me up. So I just um took my time to just mold my craft and just put everything as far as my hustling. I put it all inside one bag to be able to form this trucking thing actually when I came home, because after I got out of the music industry, it was the thing of how can I make the same kind of money that I was making before I left the streets, before I got incarcerated.
Okay, right. And so there was a time where you guys were working with each other, and y'all said, "Yo, look, we're gonna get out of the streets. We ain't gonna do this no more." And then you got kind of pulled back in. Then we all know the story. You end up going doing some time, but you got getting caught, doing some time, and then there was something that happened while you were in jail that kind of opened your eyes to the trucking business. Was it someone? It was someone that kind of just gave you the game, right?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was incarcerated, somebody gave me the game. They were basically telling me how I can make just as much money um, as I was doing illegally, and
Uh,
um, and I was telling them there's no way possible. And it was a guy when I was in prison, and he basically sat down and showed me how you can take one truck and one trailer and make the same kind of money a drug dealer makes. And I was like, there's no way. I said, plus I don't have no CDL. I don't want to drive no truck. And he said, I don't want to drive no big rig. He said, no, you can do it with a dually. I said, so he had to break it down to me. So he ended up breaking it down to me. And what he told me, he said, it would change your life. He said, when you go out there, you will not have to sell no kind of drugs. He said, once you go ahead and you start with one truck, you're gonna be able to get another truck and another. Before you know it, you want to be driving.
okay, right. So boom, fast forward, you get out and you actually start to go in and start implementing some of the things that he told you to implement, right?
Yes.
And then you got a truck, and then once you got that first truck, what happened? What did it go after that? After you got that first truck?
So I ended up turning that one truck into five trucks, but it was a process um because I had to learn. So I had trials and tribulations, like in the way of trucks breaking down, and having somebody book 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 my routes. So some money was coming out of there. So it was like money was just going everywhere. until I learned how to just book my own routes and just figure out my lane. Um, to figure out my own dedicated route.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we talk about dedicated route because me and you, we talk. So you talk about your own dedicated route. Now, when we talk about that dedicated route, we talking about the difference between, and I'm gonna change this here. We're talking about the difference between car hauling versus trucking. Like when people come out of hear about trucking and whatever, they automatically assume, and I even automatically assume we talking about 18 wheelers, big rigs, stuff like that. Tell us the difference between car hauling versus trucking and doing the freight.
Okay, so you see the hat, it says Cummins. So a lot of times, like I say, when people think of trucking, they think of CDLs, or if you hear Cummins, you straight think of the big rigs, Cummins engines. Well, these dually trucks, especially the Dodge has the Cummins engine, so it runs just like a pickup. With knowing that, if you're thinking of a pickup and thinking of a pickup breaking down, as far as transmission, engine, if you compare that to a big rig, imagine how much money you have to spend to get it fixed.
Right.
So just on that alone, the overhead of getting your truck fixed in the car hauler, what you can do with a Dodge Ram 3500 or F 350, um, that's the whole big difference when it comes to the money value right there, which the truck is the business. I always say that the truck is the business. So the truck is the business. If the wheel ain't spinning on that, the engine gone, transmission gone, you don't got no business.
Right.
To get back on your feet, if something goes, and if you don't got no cushion, or even if you got a cushion, it's gone. So
Right.
the overhead on this the truck is real easy. The second thing is when it comes to car hauling and it comes to freight, you don't have too much options, too many options when carrying the load from and freight carrying the load from point A to point B. Because if you're going to point A to point B, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have something coming back. Say if you want to come back closer to home, or if you want to, ping pong to somewhere close over. And with freight, you got to go. You'll drop. You're gonna end up having to go to multiple cities just to grab something else to make it somewhere else. And now you're costing the fuel. You're costing your time. If you own the company, and so now that's coming out of your pocket. You still got to pay the driver for deadheading. It's just too much chaos. Unless it's a dedicated route. The truck got a dedicated route, and then you're paying it. You're still good, but now you're still looking at the fuel, and you're still looking at just being out there. Dealing with the car hauling, I don't have to say too much to sell you on that. I'm just going to say it's so many cars in every city. All the auctions got so many cars. All the dealerships got so many cars. So I don't care where you go. They got cars coming back to where you left, coming back halfway, then grabbing some. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to do the car hauling, especially with no CDL. If you got a CDLs, that's different. You can go in and get you a 9-car, 6-car, 5-car, and you're really making so much money. But we're talking about a non-CDL, get started right now. Just owning the truck, not even driving the truck, you will make way more money than somebody driving a big rig and don't have a dedicated route. You're going to lose. You're going to end up losing in the long run.
Right. Okay. So answer this. Let's say I got a CDL, but I lost it. Could I still do car hauling?
That's the thing. So I have a guy who he bypassed all this class right here, and he came to me and he came straight and said, "Yo, what can I offer you if you can help me out driving? Because I lost my CDL for a DUI." And he says, "Man, and driving was my passion." That's why I said, "Let me stop you right there." I said, "If you're trying to go right now because you love to drive and you go get the bonus videos and stuff," and I gave him a set price for me to just put him in the game. And for me just telling him this right here, he said he gonna pay me for that. And then we talked about some other stuff that he wanted to just pay me for just to put him deep in the game. I told him, because I'm gonna tell y'all for free, you can have a DUI, go back to a regular license. As long as you have a regular driver's license, you can go get your truck, you can go get your trailer, and you rate it as non-CDL. You put it under 26,000 pounds, and everything you learn in my class, which I show you how to derate the trailer, how to do it all. That person with that who had that bad CDL record is now getting ready to be hauling like within the next couple of days with his truck and his trailer with his regular driver license, pulling 3 cars.
Wow. So you mean
Change
to
the
tell
country.
me I got a DUI, everything. I can still do this with a
As as long as you got a valid driver
like,
license. You gotta have a valid driver license.
okay. Hey, man, listen. If you already sitting here and you don't know, like you thinking about like maybe I should get it, bro, you should already go ahead on jump into this class because you only have to
Like
have you only
like
have
like
to have a CDL. If you lose your CDL or you got a DUI, it don't even matter. As long as you got a valid driver's license, don't matter what your record is, right?
right. But what I'm saying is that you go out there and you get the drinking, outside your truck and all that, and you catch a DUI. I mean, now you ain't got no driver license, so you
Right.
can't do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But so and I advise you to not drive drunk. Like we're already not doing that. But
Right.
like on another note, since we're on that right there, and I don't condone any use of drugs. But I do like I smoke marijuana. I don't smoke marijuana while I'm driving. I don't even smoke it an hour before. Like if I'm ready to drive, like I'm not smoking no marijuana, but I smoke. So that's another thing. You have your CDLs, you have to take piss tests. I piss test some of like my CDL drivers. I piss test them. They be wanting, but they be like they gonna stay with the CDL because with the 6 cars and the 5 cars, they're making way more money and they don't smoke. But then you got some that's saying, man, they smoke so bad that they rather smoke. They rather smoke and come to a 3 car hauler. So now they can be home, still 3 car hauler, and they sitting back smoking. I smoke as well. So, it's just ways around it. But it's just don't be driving impaired, drunk, or
At
high.
all. Yeah, at all, at all. So you talk about this word derating. So I want to talk about that derating a little bit. Okay. All right. Just a little bit because they got to pay for the class, right? So tell them what is derating a trailer and how did you learn about it?
So I learned about it when I first started, and I wanted to learn you know, what was the different weights and as far as the paperwork weight, which is how much the trailer weigh, as far as the sticker on the side, and how much the truck is, as far as the sticker on the door combined, and then with that is 26. It had to be 26 combined or under. But I got that confused with knowing that if I go over the scale with just my truck and my trailer empty, it weighs 15,000 pounds, which then you have to put on the 11,000 pounds worth of cars, which each car, the average car is like 3,000. So it can't go over 11,000. You can even put on top of it. So, with that being said, I got confused with the paperweight, knowing that, and with knowing the physical weight, which is the other 26. When I found out that the other 26, then I knew, okay, I had to find out that how can I combine the two to make it under 26 because the trailer that I had, it was rated at 14,000. So, I went and when I figured out how to derate it to 12,000, which it needed to be because my truck, you open the car door, the truck door, it says 14,000. So I derated the trailer to 12,000 pounds, with that equals 26.
Okay.
So
So
that's
we
how I
just playing
derated
with
my
the weight.
trailer to be able to drive it, without having CDLs.
Okay. So with that, we just playing with the weight.
Yeah, we just playing with the weight.
And
But
that's
the thing
totally legal.
is, huh?
And that's totally legal.
And that's totally legal because of what I'm giving you, even with my class, is how to make it legal by say if you had a registration and how the police pull you over, ask you for your registration. In the trucking, you got the DOT. Department of Transportation. When they pull you over, they want to see your real registration, which is your cab card. When you look at your cab card, he goes and he's looking at your weight. So once he's looking and goes to your trailer and he look at your sticker, it's gonna say what it is, because the way I show you and the way I teach you and the way that I'm gonna do with the class, I'm gonna get the sticker for you. So you have to know what to do to be able to go and get the sticker and you be able to ride.
All right, yeah. So shoot, we already heard it. That's the cheat code right there. Getting that trailer derated, and so that you get out there and run under that CDL weight, right?
That's the whole thing. That's the whole trick. That's the whole trick is derating the trailer. All the other stuff is so easy. That's why I did it in my guide so you can pretty much do it yourself. But now this class is basically me being hands on.
All right,
So
we're gonna walk it through. We're gonna walk everything down. All right. So cool. Y'all know about that now. We talked about derating the trailer. We talked about why you would want to go car hauling versus actual trucking and what the difference is there. So let's talk about a few mistakes. Okay. What are some of the mistakes that people get in? Because some people are going to watch this, they're gonna say, bam, got it. I know, because I was one of those. I was like, boom, got it. So then I just go out and start doing it on my own. Then I hit roadblocks, not knowing what I'm doing, and then I'll make mistakes, and then the mistakes cost me dearly. Okay, so I don't want you guys to go out there and make mistakes, Anthony. I know you don't want them to go out there and make mistakes. I know one of the mistakes that we kind of talk about is people, they try to go out and they just pick any type of truck. So you hear a truck or a regular truck, they're gonna go out and buy a Ford F-150, right? And then they're gonna go out there and try to haul. And that ain't right. So let's talk about a couple of mistakes that people make. Talk about the mistakes that you made when you first got in.
um one thing I made, for like you said, with the truck, um I did get I did get I came home in 2017. So I ended up getting a 2016, which was great because you want to get a truck with a certain amount of miles on it. Um, and I went and I got a Dodge, you know. But I first went and I tried to do a loophole, thinking that I could probably go and get a Ram 250, a Ram 2500. But once I went and actually got it, I ended up finding out that you're strained the transmission from me trying to do a three-car hauler, but I wanted to do a two-car hauler. You can do that with a two-car hauler, but I wanted to maximize my money, so I needed that other car. So another thing was I was going to Texas, which I was eating up my log, having to stop a day, waiting to start over again. So I ended up mapping out myself a dedicated route that I could do the actual get there that day under my log, under the 10 hours, and actually get paid in hand. Or I could get there, get up in the morning, drop that vehicle off, get my check, got the next vehicle going back, drop that off, and get that check. So I'm actually getting paid. I'm gonna get paid either the same day and the next day, or I'm gonna get paid the next day twice. So I minimize my fuel costs and my time. So a lot of people, start off and they just going around the world running ragged. Had um somebody book them and they only thinking about their pocket because they getting 10-15% of your bookings. So they'll run you all around the world to fatten their pocket. The whole time their pocket getting fat, you wasting gas and you just running and it's not making no sense. And you think you're seeing some money, but you could be seeing more money. Then you have a breakdown.
Yeah.
You have an old truck, or you really screwed.
Yeah.
So now and then you can also go and get a new trailer where you can actually get you a used trailer and basically put a little bit of money in it, and you can save like $10,000. So it's a whole bunch of ways, man. Like I can go on for about an hour telling you a whole bunch of mistakes that I made. But that's the thing. You get to class, I'm gonna make sure you don't make the mistakes
Right.
because I made them.
Right. And what you're doing is you're saving them time because you was doing is you learned these over a couple of years making these mistakes. So when you do something, when you get into where somebody has already done it, they already paved the way for you. So they're gonna help you bypass all those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So don't just
Yep.
think you can just go out here and just get a little bit of information here, a little bit of information there. You can piece it together and go out and put it out there. Trust me, guys, I was one of those people who did that before. I'm telling you, it is way more expensive to not know than actually pay somebody to actually learn, right? It's that's that's just the thing, right? It's way more expensive to not know than to pay to learn, right? Just think about if you married and you gotta do divorce. Hey, divorce is way more expensive than just going to therapy, right? Even though therapy might cost a little bit of money, but it's way cheaper than divorce. So you guys got to think about that and keep that in mind as we go on in there. So as we talking about you going out and I'm talking about the people, you guys listening, going out and being on the wait list for this class. I know you guys are anticipating it. We already know the date. We're going to start on April 14th, and we're going to open these doors here pretty soon. You probably want to know, hey, what's in the class and what's going on, right? So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's going to be in the class. If you guys pay attention to the screen, you guys will be able to see what we're going to be doing here. Now, Anthony has been very, very generous when we created this. So we're going to give you 8 weeks of live training because I know a lot of you been emailing, a lot of you been calling, a lot of you been in the direct message saying, hey, man, look, can I pick your brain? Hey, man, can you show me how to do this? Can I give you a call and you show me how to do this? Hey, man, look, I need this, I need that. Well, this is your chance now. Okay, this is your chance to pick the brain. This is your chance to talk with them. This is your chance to be able to learn directly from you. You heard them already up here saying, hey, the way I do it, I'm going to show you and make sure you're not making no mistakes. I'm going to show you how you're going to save money, all that different type of stuff. So you're going to get 8 weeks. All right, 8 weeks live. All right. The next thing you're going to get is you're going to be able to also be in a private Telegram group. Okay, so this is a group where you guys will be able to get in. It's like a text messaging group, like a text messaging app. So you'll be in there. Anthony will be in there. You'll be able to ask questions. Now, I can't guarantee you that he's going to answer those questions at 1 o'clock in the morning, but he will get to them as soon as possible as he can get to them to be able to help you out with those. So you'll have direct text line. So if you need some help, answer some questions, that'll be available to you as well. Then you're going to be able to access the private group. So we're going to have a private group where you guys can talk to each other. You guys can talk to each other on the app too, but you're going to have a group setting where you guys can talk to each other. You can ask more questions. You can lean on each other, and you can root each other on to help them stay on track. Accountability, so they can get themselves through this program, get themselves their truck and their trailer, and get the things that they need so they can get on the road and start making some money. Our goal is for you to make money. It don't help us to have you into this program and you don't go out there and make no money. So we're going to give you all the resources that you need. We're going to give you all the support that you need because we don't want you coming back saying, yo, I did that and Anthony didn't help me do nothing. So we have a vested interest in you to make sure that you go out and you do the things that you need to do so that you can get out there on the road and start making some money. So you can always say, hey, look, Anthony did his thing and he got me rolling. All right. So you're going to have access to that private group. You're going to also have access to the live class replays. Because I know you're probably thinking, hey, look, when are the classes? That's probably what you're thinking right now. You're probably asking yourself or getting ready to ask, when are those classes? And like try to figure out, I'll do this if I know I can make the classes. But listen, we got you. We thought of everything, baby. Listen, we're going to have a way for you to go back and watch the class replays. So if you miss the class, you can watch the class back. All right. You'll always have access to for those entire 8 weeks. All right. So you'll be able to access those. You'll be able to go back and get the learning that you missed. All right. So if you can't make the lives, don't worry about it. You can go back and watch the replays. The other thing about with that, again, still remember, you can type in a Telegram if you got any questions. All right. We're gonna have a way for you to be able to ask questions beforehand so we can answer the questions on the live. So that you can go back and watch and everything. It's a whole setup. You're gonna have the replays. That's the thing. It's great. All right. Then we're going to give you some tools that you can use, like the car hauling equipment buyer's guide. So we're going to walk you through, we're going to walk you through live, but we're also going to give you a guide that you can go and follow so you can go out and buy the right equipment. So one of the worst things you can do is go out and buy the wrong equipment. Then you got to sell it and then go back. Now that's keeping you off the road. We need you on the road, getting to that money. Okay. If your wheels ain't rolling, bank account ain't lighting up, right? So we need the wheels rolling. All right. So you're gonna get the buyer's guide so we get the right things the very first time. You don't make any mistakes. Then we're going to also give you the scaling blueprint. That scaling blueprint is going to give you the exact same steps that Anthony used when he went from 1 truck to 5 trucks. So we're going to help you scale from 1 truck to at least 3 trucks. Okay. We would love to say 5, but we're going to say 1 truck to at least 3 trucks if you follow the guide exactly the way he tells you to do it, and you're ready and you're on point and you stand accountable to yourself and accountable to your peers that are going to be in the program with you, and stand accountable with Anthony, making sure that you represent this program the way that it's supposed to be represented by getting out there and doing the things that he's telling you to do exactly the way he tells you to do it so you can make some money. We're here to help you make money. All right. Then we're going to give you some phone script templates. All right. Now, these phone script templates, I know you're probably asking, okay, what do I need that for? All right. So there's going to come a time where you may have to, and I might be going a little bit too far, so help me out with this, Anthony, where you might have to talk to another person to be able to help to get up and ride up under their authority so you can start making money quicker. All right. So we're gonna give you some things to say on the phone to be able to do that, so you can reach out to people and be able to talk with them and know exactly what to say so you can start getting there. All of this is the blueprint to start making money. Am I right?
Yes, and now you're right. But my whole thing, like I said, I didn't start under nobody's authority, you know. So I paved the way to be able to put people under my authority. So it took me a little time, and it took me a whole bunch of, like I said, trial tribulations to even get there. But it can actually be done. Like with the year of you trying to do it yourself, you can do it, but you just won't be able to make as much money as if you're going under a seasoned authority to start making the same amount of money that they're making with one of their trucks.
Right. So we got the blueprint, guys, laid out. Now we still want you to get your own authority. We still want to help you get your own authority because you definitely need that. All right. So don't think that you're not going to get your own authority. You're going to get your own authority. You definitely need that, and you definitely going to benefit from it.
You just won't be paying for your own MC number, like far as your MC number won't go active, because in order to have an active MC number, you got to have insurance on it, on your company. But if you go under somebody's authority, you go under their company and under their company insurance.
Right.
So the thing is, so you still be setting up your DOT number and everything else, with the exception of your MC number, which your MC number allows your business to be able to travel over to another state. That's what the MC number is for. But when you start and you're going under somebody else's authority, that's the only thing that you don't have. But you got to make sure that you get your DOT number, because, like I'm saying, you want your DOT number to be seasoned. Right. Meaning you want to be able to have that DOT number, and the longer you got it, the way better.
Good. See, y'all already learning. Everybody owe us $49.99 right now. Y'all already learning. All right. So that's the package. Pretty sure we're gonna give you some more goodies in there that you ain't even gonna know about. That's gonna help you with that. So the total package. Here's what the total package is worth. Now I need you guys to stay with me with this. All right. So you're gonna get the 8 weeks live training with Anthony. All right. If he were to do that with you, just 1-to-1, it's going to be at least $3,500. All right. for 8 weeks, just one-to-one. Like you say, yo, I'm gonna call you up once a week. I'm gonna give you the training. I'm gonna give you the game. You can pick my brain, all that. For him to do that for 8 weeks, it's gonna cost you at least $3,500. All right. The private Telegram group for the Q&A, that's another $397 value. That's what we're charged. That's what they're charged. All right. You also, for the access to the private group, that's a $1,200 value. All right, because we'll charge you by the month. All right, for the whole entire to talk into that group, to be in that group, that private group. All right. Then access to the live class replays. If we were to do that on a separately, it would be $297. All right. The car hauling equipment buyer's guide, that's a $47 value. That's what it would be for you to get that separately. The scaling blueprint, scaling from 1 truck to 3 trucks. That class right there would cost you $597. All right. And then our phone script templates would be worth another $47. But this total package is worth over $6,000. Okay. For you to get this, if you were to come to them, like a lot of you guys, again, you guys been calling, you guys been in the DMs, you've been emailing. Yo, can I pick your brain? Yo, can you help me with this? Yo, can you help me with that? Well, the reason why he's been saying hold off is because if you were to do that with you, this is what he would have to charge you. Okay? $6,000. Right? But listen, we're not going to charge you $6,000. Okay? We're not going to charge you $6,000 for this at all. Okay? So you're probably thinking, okay, what are you going to charge us? Trust me, I'm going to get there. All right? So listen, if you're ready to change your life and you want to make the money that can give you a life of freedom, and I want you to be prepared to be blown away at what your investment is going to be for this. And we call it an investment. We're not going to say how much it costs. We're going to say it's an investment because it's an investment in your future, right? We can invest in our future or we cannot, and we're going to be in the same spot. Now, I know a lot of you probably still sitting there thinking, hey, look, I can make this investment, but then, I might not have money for this or not have money for that. Man, I ain't got it. What I want to say to you is, how long do you want that to be your story? How long do you want that to be your story? How long do you want to sit there and say, I ain't got it? I ain't got it. I ain't got it. If you say that now, you're going to always be saying that. I do it when I get it. I do it when I get it. Guess what? You ain't never going to get it. So now is the time to figure it out so you can change your life, so you can have a life of freedom. So now that you can make your own schedule, you can make your own money. You're not micromanaged by somebody. You can have total freedom, like y'all. Having a boss over your head, keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. It's like being a child again. They tell you what time to wake up. They tell you what time to be there. They tell you what time to go to the bathroom. They tell you what time you can eat lunch. Who want to do all that? I'm a grown man. You're a grown woman. It ain't time. Yo, it's over for that. You are in control of your own life. So if you're ready to make your life change, if you're ready to have a total life of freedom, then I want to tell you what your investment in your future is going to be, okay? Your investment is only $997. Now, before you start going crazy and all that stuff, pulling out your credit card and all that stuff just yet, this is what I want to do for you. This is what we want to do for you. We talk to Anthony, and this is what we're going to do is we believe in rewarding people who are action takers, okay? We believe in rewarding people who are action takers. Those people that act fast are the ones who always get the best results because they are quick, they make quick decisions, and usually that quick decision, that gut quick decision is usually that right decision, all right? I read this book called, what is it called? It's a very classic book, Think and Grow Rich. That's the name of the book. Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read that book, you need to go read it. It's a mind changer. It's a game changer. In that book, they talk about people who make the most money are the people who actually make the quickest decisions. Somebody who has to sit on something for a long time, they usually make the wrong decision and they usually end up being broke. All right. So we don't want to be broke. We want action takers. All right. Now we're only going to take 15 people. Okay. We're only going to take 15 people in this. So you have to claim your spot as soon as possible. I'm telling you, Anthony, are you getting emails every day? Are you getting text messages every day? asking about people want to talk with you and want to get you, trying to figure out how much it costs to work with you?
And not only that, I'm getting close friends even doing it. But like I said, I can't take the time out just for them, because if I do that, I got a whole lot more people I can just do all in one. You know what I'm saying? So I can't take the time to stop to even just do one person. I'd rather just do everybody all in one, baby.
Right, right. So we're only going to take 15 people. Now, that lets you know, like, this is not a money grab. This is something where we actually want to help people. So we're keeping the class sizes small so that we can touch everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we can get everybody's questions answered. We could throw 100 people in here, right? We could throw 100 people in here and then imagine getting 100 questions all at once. We ain't gonna be able to do it. So we're gonna keep this time. We're gonna keep the size small. So you got to make sure that if you're ready to make the step, that you got to make this step right now and don't wait. All right. So we're going to do something special for the people that are right here, right now, tonight. Okay. I understand that there's going to be, we're going to also have a playback for the other people. But so if you're not here tonight, then you just miss out. Okay. So for the people who are here tonight, this is what we're going to do. All right. For tonight only, until 11:59 p.m. tonight, we're going to drop the price to $797. Okay. $797. Who's excited about that? I know I ain't told you to use your Twitter fingers. Use your Twitter fingers now. Who here is excited about that price dropping to $797? That's what, $200 off? That's $200 off of the price. Now, if you wait, it's going to be $997.
Man, you ain't tell me you were gonna do $797, bro.
Oh, we talked about that. Then we talked about it.
Man, that's just, but what I'm saying. So you mean to tell me? So they're gonna get so $797. They're gonna be able to invest in what I'm doing, and with only one truck, you can make 10 to 15,000 a month. So to learn how to do all of that for $797, man, I feel like I'm beating myself. But if you think that, hey, if you think that, I'm down. I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
Okay. So tonight only to 11:59, $797. So that's just like you're gonna hand him $797, and he gonna hand you a $10,000 a month business. Hey, that sounds crazy. Hey, that sounds crazy.
That's what I'm saying. If every time I repeat it, man, I can't wait till 12 o'clock already hit, bro. And then I might rethink the $9.99, whatever it is. We might got to go up on that.
Yeah. Say, listen, you better go. Hey, jump in. You better jump in as fast as possible. All right. So it's two ways you can do this. You can pay in full tonight, $797, or you can do two payments of $425. Now I know what you're thinking. You doing the math in your head, like for my math people, you're thinking like 425 times two, that's more than 797. That's the cost of doing business. Okay. Hey, look, if you're gonna stretch it out, we gotta charge you a little more. Okay. So, but you can still lock in that price. Okay. You ain't gonna pay $997. All right, I'm gonna drop these links here in the chat for in a minute here. So go ahead on, pull your credit cards out, get ready. All right. So you can pay in full, $797 tonight. You're done. You're gonna get access to everything. You're gonna get your email, all that stuff. You're gonna be good to go. Or you can do the two payments of $425. Yeah, get you done. Do one now, one in 30 days. All right. But wait. If you can do it before this call ends, all right. So if you're watching this back, hey, look, I'm sorry. But if you're here right now, this is what you get for being here. Like, hey, so you don't want to miss the next live. We're gonna do another one here. But I don't know what the price is gonna be because he's probably gonna, we're gonna talk after this, right? If you do it before the call ends, you're only gonna pay $597. So that's $400 off, right? For you to be able to get into this, if you do it before we get off this call right now, it's for $597. Now, this is only one time. We're never going to do this again. So if you got credit card in hand and you got $597, I would do it right now as I put this link in this chat. If you do it before we hop off of this call, but you got to do it before we hop off this call. Okay. All right. So here we go. Are you guys ready? I'm dropping the links in the chat now. So I want you to go grab your spot. Okay. I want you to go grab your spot right now. Now, if you're watching this back, I don't know what the price is going to be, but there's a link under this. There's a link under this video. I want you to tap that link and go ahead and get inside. I promise you, if you're watching this back, there's probably a timer down there that's getting ready to expire. When that expires, that price going up. I'm telling you, do it right now before we this is the soft door opening. This is like the cracking of the door. Once we open this thing fully, it's going to be $997. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay. So get in right now while you got it. Now, I put those links down in the chat. Go ahead and tap on that. Now, again, here's everything that you're going to get. And then we're going to answer some questions. So you got 8 weeks of live training. Okay. 8 weeks of live training. Private Telegram group for question and answer whenever you have a problem. Okay. Access to the private group. All right. Access to the live class replays. Because if you can't make it, you got the replays there for you. All right. You're going to get the car hauling equipment buyer's guide. Then you're also going to get the scaling blueprint from 1 truck to at least 3 trucks, and the phone script templates, and probably a bunch of other different stuff that we haven't mentioned here, but we're going to make sure that you get on the road. The biggest thing, guys, it's not about what's in the package. What the biggest thing is you're going to be out on the road, rolling, making money, and you don't have to have anybody over your shoulder. If you're that husband that got that wife at home and you'll be able to take care of her, you'll be able to do the things that you always wanted to do for her. You'll be able to take her on trips. You're going to be able to go out and buy your kids clothes, even more clothes, buy the clothes you want, be able to take her out on dinners, be able to go do all the things, have that time freedom to be able to do it. Hey, when I don't want to work, I don't got to work, right? And I don't got to call nobody and say, hey, look, nervous and sweating, trying to call out. You don't got to do that. You just like, hey, look, I ain't working tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You got the time freedom. You're going to be able to leave a legacy for your children. All right, you're going to be able to leave some money to your children. So when you got to take care of them, even when you're not here no more. Okay, so you're going to leave a legacy for your children. You're going to be able to take care of your wife. You're going to be able to go on those trips that you're going to go on. You're going to be able to buy that Rolex watch. You're going to be able to go out and get that car, your dreams. You're going to be able to go out and buy that Scat Pack. You're going to be able to go out and buy that and buy that Mercedes, that Range Rover, all the things that you want to do. It all starts because you make an investment in yourself to free yourself. Listen, everything that you want is on the other side of fear. So if you're having some type of fear right now, thinking like, oh man, what if it don't work? That's the thing. Here's the thing. We always condition our mind to think about what could go wrong. And you know, there's a law called the law of attraction, right? And I don't want, without getting too mumbo jumbo and all that crazy stuff, I'm just gonna put it out plain and simple. I don't call it the law of attraction. I call it the law of action. Okay. So what that means is whatever we think in our head, if we think something negative about something, what's going to happen is that negative thought goes down to our heart. That negative thought comes into our heart and it creates a feeling of anxiety. Okay. That's what that anxiety feeling is. You got a negative thought about something. What we do is we put these negative pictures in our head about something that these outcomes that we think is going to happen. So we're playing this movie in our head. It comes down to our heart and it creates anticipation. So what we do when we got anticipation, we get nervous, we start worrying, we fold our hands up, we do nothing. But think about when you actually think about something that's good happening. Hey, you just met this new girl, you about to go over to her house and you already know what's going down, right? So you got anticipation. You dancing, you get that thought in your head. You're like, yeah. Anticipate, that feeling comes into your heart, that anticipating of what's about to happen. So now you're getting up, you're getting yourself together, you're shaving, you're brushing your teeth, putting on the cologne, you're doing all the stuff because you know what's about to happen, right? Imagine if we thought like that all the time. Well, imagine if we thought to ourselves, what would it feel like if things went right? Instead of thinking about what would happen, what's going to happen if this doesn't work? Let's start thinking about what would happen if things go right. Then we get anticipation. Then we start moving, because the way that we're going to bring something into manifestation is that we've got to put the work to it. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. So even if you have faith that you're going to make $1 million or $10,000 or $20,000 a month, if you don't put no action behind it, it's never going to happen. So what I'm telling you is make the investment in yourself now so that you can live the life of your dreams. It's not about what's in this package. It's about your transformation, what you're going to get out of it. This, guys, is the thing that you guys want to do to be able to live the life that you're trying to live. All right. Because it's not about car hauling. You're doing this because you're trying to get to a certain lifestyle, and you're going to get there if you follow everything that we said in this class. So before we end this call, I tried to extend a little bit longer so you can make your payment right now. If you're watching this back, click the link under the button, or click the link under this video, the button under this video. I don't know what the price is going to be, but it's going to be less than $9.97 for a limited time only. When that timer runs out, guys, it is over with. So go ahead and drop that down. Hey, Anthony, you got anything else you want to say to the people?
I'm gonna give you one more jewel. So my wife was making $30 an hour. Great job. And she was actually dispatching for a real big company. It had nothing to do with my company. And she ended up getting laid off. Budget cuts or whatever. So I sat back and I said, hey, I need you to help me build my company up. And before you know it, within my company, with me taking trucks and stuff and putting it under my authority, I end up having to book and keep every truck loaded under my company with vehicles. So I end up teaching her how to book and route and do this to actually, the same thing brokers gonna try to do for you. I end up teaching her, and so she do that within my company. And now she makes way more money than the $30 an hour that she was making for that big company. And it expands my company with her teaching other people how to do that too. But it all just starts with just one truck and one trailer. So it's just one thing. Even she don't even have to work no more if she don't want to, because the business, run itself. So all I do is just say, it's all kind of things you can do. We're just starting with one truck and one truck.
That's it. Starts with one truck, one trailer, and one investment that's going to change the course of your life right here, right now. So listen.
And you bet, and you also like with me, I betted on myself when I came home. I betted on myself, and it paid off. You basically spending that money to bet on me. That's what you're doing. You're taking that money and saying, you know what? You ain't got to bet on your stuff. I'm gonna bet on him because he bet on himself and he won. So then you can take that same money, and bet on me.
Right. And don't worry about
and the proof is actually in my tax forms and all that. So it shows how much money I actually made. So you can see the transition from 120,000 a year to 300,000 a year, because that was based off of the trucks. So each truck came up like you guarantee you're going to make $120,000 a year. And you can imagine that's with me just coming home. So I wanted to do certain things that I needed done. Like I just bought my first really watch and chain and stuff recently. But that came with overtime and all that. And I said, oh, okay, now I'm in a position that I can do this without, going into a stash. You know what I'm saying? But put that money on me. I got you.
Right. And when you got out, you had no money. You built this from zero.
I ended up with, so I'm not gonna say zero, but I will say this. I had $4,500 cash that I worked up. And that's how I was able to go get my first truck. The same way I said I'm gonna teach y'all. And I went and financed my truck.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man. So listen, the choice is yours. The ball is in your court. There's two types of people. There's people who are going to take action and get things done. And then there's people who are going to complain about they can't get anything done. All right. So if you're anything like me, I know you're one of those people who are ready to take action to get things done. Hey, listen, there's no questions. We'll talk to you guys on the next live. We'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you keep following. Make sure you keep liking, keep sharing the videos on Instagram, all the good things. YouTube coming soon. So check everything out. Stay locked in. All right.
Let's go.